Hello students, welcome to the class of Understanding the Literature. Today's topic is Literature and Human Life. In today's session, let us try to understand the relationship between literature and human life. It is well-known fact that literature is a human phenomenon. When we say literature is a human phenomenon, it means it is the typical contribution by the human beings to the culture. It is only the human being who has the instinct, who has the wish to express himself or herself artistically. When a person expresses himself artistically through the medium of language, that expression becomes the literature. So literature is a typical human activity because only the human being can create the literary works. Only the human beings have produced the literature. Like any other art forms, it is the typical contribution of the human beings only. That is why we say it is a human phenomenon. When we talk about the literature, one question arises. The question is, what literature is all about? And the answer is very simple. The answer is very straightforward. The answer is that literature is all about the human life. W. H. Hudson says, literature grows directly from the human life. It means there is a connection between literature and the human life. When a writer writes, from where does he gather the raw material? So human life is a source. It is the source for any writer. The poets, dramatist, short story writer, or the novelist. They borrow their themes and the subjects from the human life. See, human life is a very happening phenomenon. Lot of things are happening with the human beings. From the incident of birth till the end of the life, we see that many things are happening to a person. Means from birth to life or to the death, we see the life is very happening. Many incidents, many events are taking place. That is why this life becomes a kind of a source as well as the inspiration for the writer. The writer is actually the human being who is living his own life. He too has his own experiences, and those experiences becomes the subjects of his poetry or drama or the novels and others. Even when he watch the other people living, he find that those people, their life are also the subjects of the literature. So his own experiences, the experience of the other people, become the themes and the subjects in the works of literature. When W. H. Hudson say literature grows directly from the human life, means whatever happen in the human life, it becomes the basis, it becomes the foundation of the literature. Whatever happens in the human life, that is reflected in the literature. For example, let us take a very simple example. uh, William Wordsworth, his poem is Daffodils. When he saw the flowers of daffodils dancing and fluttering, then that daffodil, his experience of watching them, the joy that caused at that time, that experience, that emotion becomes the theme of that poem, Daffodils. Means the simple experience, a simple experience of watching the flower and experiencing the joy, it becomes the theme of one poem. Similarly, even the small or common things become the themes of the literature. Some extraordinary and uncommon things also becomes the themes and the subjects of the literature. See, all the human emotions, all the human feelings become the themes of the poetry. They become the themes of the novels and the short stories. Uh, that's We will take one example. Love is a very common experience of all the human beings. It is an emotion, it is a feeling. But that common feeling or the common experience of the human being have occupied a very important and the vital place in the field of literature. So the love has become a very major theme in the poetry. Thousands of the lyrics are written on this theme. In different languages, in different society, the love is a very constant theme. Dramas were written on this theme. For example, As You Like It is a very popular comedy, romantic comedy written by William Shakespeare. The theme of As You Like It is a love. Even the theme of the tragedy written by William Shakespeare, that is Romeo and Juliet, again the theme is of love. There is a very wonderful ballad written by John Keats, La Belle Dame Sans Mercy. It has again the same theme, means the love which is a very common experience of the human beings, which is a very common emotions of the human being, becomes a very important and major theme and the subjects in the field of literature. Many songs, many poems, many short stories, and the novels and dramas are based on this theme. Not only this theme, but there are several other themes which are related to the human life have become the themes and the subjects of the literature. For example, I will take Indian freedom struggle and the India's partition. It is a very important historical event so far as India is concerned. These two things, that is the first process, that's evolution, that's Indian uh, evolution and revolution, we can say. It's a Indian freedom struggle. It is reflected in the novels of the Indian novelist in English. Even the partition has become the theme in the stories and the novels written by Urdu writers, Hindi writers, Punjabi writers, and even the Indian English writers. The novel like Tamas, the novel like Train to Pakistan, the stories written by Gulzar, these are all based on the partitions. Means one historical event has become a theme and the subject in the stories and the novels. Other than this, there are a lot of things, number of the themes are there. For example, wars, battles, riots, birth, death, life after death, relationship between the men and the women, children and the emotional world of the children. These are all become the themes and the subjects of the literature. It means everything, whatever happen in the life, that becomes the themes and the subjects of the literature. It is said that what you find in Mahabharata, that you find in the human life. What is not in the Mahabharata, that is not in the human life. Means the Mahabharata is so vast, it is so comprehensive that it could or it can represent the human life completely, totally, holistically. Means the human life is reflected in the literature. Literature becomes the mirror of the human life. And most important thing is that the human life is a source. It is the source for all the poets, all the writers, novelists, and the dramatists. They take the different themes and the subjects. means the man's life is very complicated one. It is very happening, it is very vast. Lot of things are happening in his mind. Lot of things are happening with him. So man and his relationship to society, man his relationship with the world, man and his relationship with the god, man's life and his life after his death, all those things are also discussed in the literature. You know, death, it is again a common incident. It's very natural phenomena, but that has also become the subjects in the poetry of Emily Dickinson. Some wonderful poems were written by John Donne on the theme of death. Nature nature is the integral part of the human's life. So that nature and the human and their relationship is also reflected in the literature. That is why we can say that literature and the human life, these are interdependent, they are connected, they are inseparable. Literature is possible only when there is a human life, and we know that only the human beings can create the literature. But when he develops the literature, when he creates the works of literature, he is using all the content and the material from the human life. This is the relationship between the literature and the human life. Thank you very much.